Welcome to the Flora podcast, a place where we help you create a life you're excited about. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are going to talk about Keystone habits, what they are, and how to find yours. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Flora Sage, minimalism mentor, simplification coach, and 7-time author. For over 25 years, I've been helping women like you align into a life or a business that you are wildly obsessed with by helping you clear the 9 types of clutter, keeping you from a life that you love. What are those 9 types of clutter? They are mental, spiritual, emotional, digital, financial, daily, body, process, and environmental clutter. My YouTube page is where I share environmental decluttering tips, and here on the podcast, I share with you how to declutter the rest. Please subscribe or follow this feed so you get notified every time an episode is released. So today, we are going to talk about Keystone habits, what they are, and how to find yours. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. So what is a Keystone habit and how does it impact the rest of your life? Well, a Keystone habit is a habit that leads to essentially a ripple effect in your life. I'm going to give you an example. Working out leads you to sleeping better, which leads you to less stress, which because you have less stress, you start eating better, etc. So as you can see by this example, like if you start working out, that leads you to sleep better, which results in less stress, which results in you making better food choices. Since you're not stress eating, this could result in you losing weight, feeling better in your body, which impacts how you dress, how you feel about yourself, the whole kit and caboodle. So it's literally an entire ripple effect that happens from one simple action or one simple habit. So when you find your Keystone habit, this truly is the key to simplifying your life. So using the previous example of working out, let's just say that you have a lot of stress in your life and you want to get more sleep because you know more sleep will help naturally lower your cortisol levels. So you say, well, I know meditation is supposed to help with relaxation, with sleeping better. So you try meditating at night before you go to sleep. And, you try, but you just can't get into it. You're really tired. Maybe you fall asleep during your meditation. And you keep trying, but you can't seem to get into meditation enough, so much so that it impacts your sleep. So you try a sleep aid. Maybe you try melatonin or a myriad of other sleep aids. And it helps a little bit, but these aids kind of make you groggy in the morning, which again, kind of maybe stresses you out because you want to be awake and alert in the morning. So you keep trying one thing after another, but it doesn't fully result in lowering your stress enough so that you can get good quality sleep. This is an example of trying things that are not a Keystone habit, that are trying different habits, putting different habits in place. Like I said, maybe you try meditation, maybe you try a sleep aid, maybe you try shutting screens off an hour before you go to bed. You try all these different things, but they're just not giving you that result. Fast forward maybe the next week, your friend calls you and she says, hey, I have a guest pass at my gym. You want to go? And you're like, yeah, sure. You meet with her. You have a great workout. That night, you sleep so good. You're like, oh my goodness, maybe it was the exercise. So you put in an exercise DVD or you throw on Body, and which is an exercise platform, and you do an extend bar workout, or you do Pilates, or you do yoga, or you lift weights, whatever it is. You pick an exercise, you do it again. You sleep really good and you're like, oh my gosh. And you notice because you've slept so good that you find yourself being more mindful of your food the next day. You notice you feel more positive. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Bingo. All the things, all the light bulb moments. You have found your Keystone habit. When you find your Keystone habit, the byproduct of doing that one thing, first of all, eliminates all the stuff that wasn't working. So that's one of the ways that it helps to simplify your life. But the next thing that it does is, again, it creates that ripple effect of things that positively impact and that happen in your life as a result from doing that one thing. Usually, a Keystone habit is not about doing more. It's usually about doing that one thing that will make the biggest impact in your life for you. So finding your one thing that creates that ripple effect truly simplifies your daily to-dos and your process clutter in one action. So this literally impacts a lot of someone's clutter. Again, it can eliminate daily clutter, because let's just say that you were doing all the nighttime things and it just wasn't working. So you can now eliminate, if you still want to do those nighttime things, you can, but you can eliminate those nighttime things because working out is that ripple effect that you've been waiting for. So you can eliminate all that random stuff. And you can also eliminate a lot of process clutter. Process clutter is the steps in which it takes you to do a specific thing. Well, because, maybe you like meditating, but not at night. Maybe you prefer to meditate in the afternoon. So it eliminates all this stuff that you were doing that wasn't giving you that result. So at this point, you may be wondering, okay, so what could a Keystone habit be? I don't want to go through the next month and try. So let me give you some examples of what a Keystone habit could be for you, because each person's Keystone habit is different based on what season you're in and what your priorities are. So a Keystone habit could be working out daily, as we talked about previously. It could be working with a coach or a therapist, clearing that mental, emotional, and spiritual clutter. It could be having a daily gratitude practice. It could be making your bed. It could be meditating. It could be visualizing or doing, visualization work. It could be doing mindset work. I know for me, for many years, that was my Keystone habit because my mindset was crap and I needed to work on mindset. I was really in that hustle culture of fuck my mindset, excuse the vernacular. It's all about hard work and hustle. That led me to burnout. And so I had to shift my mindset and really work on that 80% of the time. And that freaked me out of going, oh my God, I'm going to scrap strategy. Well, I kept a little bit of strategy, but I'm really going to focus mainly on mindset. And again, that was terrifying. But the cool thing was I started to see results right away. And that's the thing about a Keystone habit is you will start to see results right away. Other types of Keystone habits could be daily or weekly planning. It could be pre-planning your day before it actually happens so that you can jump into the day and know exactly what you're doing. It could be meal planning. It could be reading a self-help book. It could be relaxing. Again, if you're caught in that hustle culture or let's grind or let's just keep doing, that can lead to burnout. So a Keystone habit for you might be relaxing, and how you relax is up to you. It could be unplugging and getting out of that dopamine cycle of scrolling. It could be going for a simple daily walk outside. And again, each person's Keystone habit is different based on what season you're in and what your priorities are. This is something we've talked about in many other podcast episodes. So how do you find your Keystone habit? I want you to ask yourself this question. This is in my book. This is a quote by Stephen Covey. I absolutely love this quote or this question. It's both. It's a question and a quote. And I quote, "What's one thing, if done daily, would make the biggest impact in my life this year?" I want you to actually write that down. I want you to put it up on a sticky note. And I want you to ask yourself this question until the answer comes to you. What's one thing, if done daily, would make the biggest impact in my life this year? Now, the answer for this should come quite easily for you because it's usually the one thing that you're resisting the most. But be honest with yourself on what that answer is. Like I said, for many years, it was mindset for me. Right now, it's working out / lifting weights. I'm 48. As we age, we lose muscle mass and our metabolism shifts. And I want to be here for a very long time. I want to be here if my kids choose to have babies. I want to be here for my grandbabies. And I want to stay as active and as healthy as absolutely possible. So for me personally, for this season of my life and for what my priorities are, it is moving my body with weight every single day. So, and I was resistant to that for a while because I didn't want to believe that my body was changing, and I was still thinking I was like in my 20s, and that's not the case. So again, the answer for that question should come quite easily for you. And like I said, it's usually the one that you're resisting the most. What's one thing, if done daily, would make the biggest impact in my life this year? Play around with your Keystone habit until you find the one that creates that ripple effect in your life. Over the next week, I encourage you to pick one possible Keystone habit and try it every day. Just one. You know, as you heard in last week's episode, I had several people reach out to me over the past, umpteen episodes, and they were sharing with me comments and things about my, episodes and how they impacted them. And then I asked several people, hey, would you try just picking one thing and doing it? They did. You heard the results. You heard how people were losing weight and saving for vacation and clearing their house of stuff that they're no longer using. And that was just 3 of the many that I got. So when you pick one thing and commit to it, especially if it's that one thing that you know is going to make the biggest impact, you will start to see results right away. You will. So notice what changes or what shifts in your life as a result of this new habit. And this is one of the ways how you truly start to align into that life that you truly, truly want. This is the whole premise of my coaching platform, is to help you get rid of the clutter that's keeping you from aligning into a life that you absolutely love. If you want my help with this, click the link in the show notes. We'll jump on a call. Let's have a conversation. Also, let's continue this conversation and support each other in building the lives you are not only obsessed with, but are genuinely filled with so much joy and fulfillment and freedom. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I invite you to share your experiences with finding your Keystone habit in the comments below. And if you're listening to this on my podcast or any podcast streaming service, email me, flora@florasage.com, to share your comments. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe, share with your friends, and please leave a review. Your support helps this podcast reach more people looking to declutter their lives and align into a life they are wildly obsessed with. I hope this serves you today. And remember, all it takes is a clear vision of what you want and the willingness to take one small shift in that direction daily to align into a life that you love. Mwah! I'll see you in the next episode.